What's going on, guys? Welcome back to episode 4 of the Custom Cleat Chronicles featuring DJ Hayden of the Jacksonville Jaguars. DJ is another one of the guys we got the chance to work with when he spent last season with the Detroit Lions, but now he's moved down south to the Jacksonville Jaguars. And we're super excited to have a player who's on the Jaguars because they have, without a doubt, if not the best, a top 3 color scheme when it comes to making custom cleats. There is just an absolute unlimited amount of options when it comes to crazy ideas that you can come up with when working with the Jaguars color scheme. You obviously get to play with the Jaguar print. Their helmets naturally have a black to gold gradient, which is super cool, but then they also have that teal that you get to play around with, and it just throws another element into the full mix that you could just have a lot of fun with. So today we're going to be working with 2 pairs of the Vapor Untouchable Pros. One DJ requested with an all black color scheme, and the second he just wanted a mashup of the teal and the Jaguar print. So rather than giving you guys that cinematic look at the making of the colorways and whatnot, we wanted to take this video to discuss a little bit about stencil use. Since we're going to be utilizing a lot of stencils within this design, from the Jaguar print to his logo and his numbers that we also include, we thought this would be a good time to just tell you guys a little bit more about what you need to know when using stencils in your design. So first things first, one of the most important steps when you know you're going to be utilizing stencils, and of course just to make sure that these cleats are wearable, is really taking your time with the prep. So that includes multiple levels of sanding the cleats and acetoning off that factory finish. This is the first step that goes a long way in the end product, and especially when it comes down to peeling up some of those stencils, just to make sure that you're not going to be peeling up any paint along with it. So when it comes down to how you're going to use your stencils, it's really a good idea in my opinion to know where you want to get with the end result. So for a lot of projects like this, I tend to just create a really simple Photoshop mock-up. So one cleat I wanted to do all black with a dark gray Jaguar print throughout the entire cleat. So this meant that even though the cleat was almost all black to start, I wanted to lay down a nice dark gray base so that I could lay the Jaguar print on top of that. After I have this dark gray base laid down, I can then lay the Jaguar print on top of that. One little tip that will really make sure that your stencils are in the correct position and gonna hold down is to make sure that you heat set them on top of this layer. You don't want to go too long because the vinyl can definitely shrivel up, but this will make it really grab onto that base layer. After that, we're then gonna cover this up with a couple layers of black, and then when we go ahead and remove these stencils, we have that dark gray Jaguar print peeking through. So for the second cleat, I knew that we wanted to utilize a teal base along with the Jaguar print featured on the swoosh and near the toe box. So the workflow for these was knocking out that teal base first and then prepping our 2 sections to get ready for the Jaguar print. So rather than laying down the white to gold gradient and then placing the Jaguar print stencil on top of that, I tend to think that it's a better idea to do whatever the color you're going to be doing your stencil in as your base coat. So in this situation, like I said earlier, you need to have the end result in mind. So I know that we're going to have a black Jaguar print peeking through in the end, so I want to lay down a black base first. On top of that black base, I'm ready to lay down the Jaguar print stencils, and from there I'm gonna lay down my white to gold gradient on top of that. When it comes time to removing these stencils, another tip that will really help any paint removal is making sure you're heating the stencil right before you're removing it. That heat is going to cause the vinyl to loosen up even more, and it's not going to bring anything up with it. There's still a couple more spots that we needed to use stencils on this cleats because DJ also wanted to include his logo, and I always like to include a player's number on their cleats also. A number is something that even as a kid you always take a lot of pride in, and it's always really cool because it's yours and only yours, you've earned it, and it just adds that extra personalization factor to these. So if you take your time with your prep work, you allow the proper amount of drying time in between coats when laying down your base layers, you have absolutely nothing to worry about when it comes to utilizing stencils within your design. Alright, so we hope you guys enjoyed today's video with a little bit more of a focused look on how we use stencils within this design. If you guys are ever going to be utilizing stencils within any of your cleat designs or any of your sneakers in general, just make sure that you really follow the big steps that we covered in today's video. Take your time with your prepping, do your sanding, your acetoning, really get off that factory finish, and then allow a lot of dry time in between coats when you're doing your base layers, and allow dry time in between coats that you're focusing on the stencil. And then just heat those stencils up right before you remove them, and you have absolutely nothing to worry about. No paint will come up as long as you follow all these steps. Both of these cleats came out even better than we originally planned, and that Jaguar print on both of them stands out, and this shows that you can use the same print but really have it featured two different ways. We have that full monochromatic look on one pair, almost completely murdered out, and the second features that crazy color scheme of the Jaguars where we really get to focus on that teal and gold. We already heard back from DJ, he absolutely loved the cleats, and we're super excited for what's to come with the rest of the season as preseason games are starting to kick off now. So in the last episode of the Custom Cleat Chronicles, you guys definitely let us know that you're interested in learning a lot more when it comes to how to prep cleats and just general info about design, stencils, and everything when it comes down to football cleats. And since the season is getting closer, we have a ton of more stuff coming that way, so make sure you guys have notifications on so you don't miss a thing. So if you guys haven't already, if you could go ahead and give this video a like, we would really appreciate that from you guys. It definitely helps new people discover us, it really helps the page grow, and we greatly appreciate that from you guys. Make sure you guys are subscribed, and we will see you guys in that next video.